it work? Oh, there we go. Continue. Hey guys, Tyler Harriman here, helping out with the rules of the crease. As we get started, just want to go over kind of some of the highlights that we're going to have this season. This isn't going to be everything, but it's going to cover quite a bit of what we may come across here. So to start with, I want to go, where is the crease? Because just remember here on the Federation rules, we can have two different field layouts. So if you're kind of always accustomed to the kind of the goal line being right there on the 10-yard line where it traditionally is on the normal boys field, some of the schools in the area do have the unified field. So the goal is going to be back another 5 yards or so as you play on the 120-yard field. So your goal is always going to be, or your goal line is always going to be 15 yards from the end line, regardless of which field you're going to be on. And the crease itself is still going to be the 9-foot radius. You might have to run just a little bit far as you're going down to cover the goal line on those unified fields. So as we get started, I just want to kind of go over some of the highlights here of the few things on the pregame as we get out there and we check the field and the goal area. So just reminders, as you get out there, before the game starts, let's check the goal, check the nets, make sure that everything's secure. There's no holes in the nets. The goals are lined up right. They're positioned straight across the field. And then also looking the markings that you have a good crease line, as well as is a goal line there printed or not. Some fields will elect to just put the goal on the 10-yard line and use that as the goal line. Some fields will paint a line in there. So just check to see what markings are on the field. As we check the field, one of the things I wanted to point out with here is the goal of, there's always the debate of where should we place the goal. Some of this is kind of technique. Reason why I wanted to bring it up, how we like to set up, or how I like to set up here, is the goal is having the back of the goal on the back part of the goal line here. So if you kind of see this picture here, I don't know if my mouse is showing up here or not, but you have your 4-inch football line here and with your goal line. So you want to take the back of the goal post and have it on the back side of this line. The reason for that is we play with a white ball. So a white ball on the white line, if it's on the front side, you can't quite tell if it's completely broke the plane of the goal, because as our rule says, in order for a goal to count, the ball has to entirely break the plane of the goal. So if you have it on the back side there, you see a white ball on the green spot, we know we have a good goal. And the favorite part that you always hear is it hit 2 pipes. It must be a goal. Well, we know what the rule is. It has to break the plane. So if you hit both pipes, it probably did not break the plane of the goal. All right, so this is where we get into the rule stuff. This is where you want to know what can and can't be done. So to break it out, I pulled out some stuff of what can the goalie do. So the goalie here, they basically are given the ability, the privilege, as long as they're inside the crease, is they could pretty much do anything they need to do to stop the ball. So they are allowed to block the ball with a free hand, with a hand, their body, their stick, whatever they need to do to stop the ball. They can use their hand to hit it out of the way. Anything they can do to stop it except for catching the ball. The other thing they can't do is they can't pick the ball up and put it into their stick. But other than that, pretty much anything can go in there. Some other protections that are in there is the opposing player can't touch them. So if the goalie is in the crease, the attackman cannot touch their stick, cannot touch the goalkeeper, can't do anything. So as long as they're in there, no matter what they're doing, there can be no contact with the goalie inside of the crease. Once they get the ball, or once the goalie gains possession, they have 4 seconds to get the ball out of the crease. What you may see, especially in the middle school games, is the player goes back to go throw. If the ball comes out of the stick, they inadvertently drop it provided it doesn't roll into the goal. If they drop it, once they pick it up, they have a new 4-second count. I did want to put in there that 20-second count still can continue, but if they inadvertently drop it, if it goes down, they inadvertently kick it back into the crease, they regain possession, they'll always still get a 4-second count started again for that. What else here? We got the defensive gains possession. If the attack cuts through, runs through that crease, it becomes a flag down situation. Normally, 90% of the time, that's just a technical foul, turnover, just a crease violation. We're going the other way. But knowing where that ball is, as soon as the defense has it or the goalie has it, if that attackman tries to cut across that crease, now it becomes a weird thing. Now we got the flag up, and we're going to be serving a time-serving foul for that attackman cutting through the crease. While clearing the ball from the crease, that goalie is going to have protection to complete his pass. So if the attackman's standing there, whether he's stationary or not, if that goalie makes his pass and on his follow through, comes through, makes contact with the attackman, that becomes a play on. If the pass is completed, that play on goes off, play is going to continue. If that ball hits the ground or anything like that, we're now going below the whistle, and we're going to allow the team to get a free clear. So they're going to restart the ball up at the center X at the midfield. Just remember, the goalie does not get to take advantage of the rule by throwing it and then altering his follow through and whacking the attackman. At that point, he's going to be serving a foul for a slash. So we're not going to give him the benefit of, taking liberties on the attackman there. But the goalie making his outlet pass, if he contacts the attackman, play on, we're going to have a free clear unless that pass is completed. The other thing that I wanted here, the kind of last bullet point, is the goalie is always allowed 5 seconds to get back into the crease on any restart. So no matter what happens on the field, ball goes out of bounds, we have a loose push, we have to have that 5-second count for that goalie to get back into the crease. I really wanted to bring that up this year with all of the new quick restarts because everybody's want to go. Just remember those times that we have to hold that restart. One of them is for that goalkeeper. So make sure you allow him those 5 seconds before you get that restart, especially when we have like an end line shot or something like that. If the goalie comes out to chase it, you need to give him the 5 seconds to get back in because that's what the rule is. All right, so what protections or what can the goalie not have? So one of the ones that you always hear is we said, hey, the goalie, you can't check him. So if he's inside the crease, we can't hit a stick, we can't check him. Now, the cross of the goalkeeper, if he's extending out, trying to rake in a ball or do anything, if that is outside of the crease and there's no possession in the goal stick, his stick is just like any other player. So if we're having a scrum, if he's down there trying to rake the ball, scoop the ball up, that ball can be, or his stick can be checked just like any other player. Remember too here, the bullet point is the defense. So the goaltender is the only person who's equipped to block a shot. The defenders are not to. So anytime a defensive player is in there or you see them sliding in front to take the place of a goalie, we shut it down immediately. Unless there's a shot in the air, we're killing that play. So I know it's the first part of the penalty is the conduct foul, which is technically, it would be a technical or anything like that. We always let the play go, but this is a safety foul. So if you have somebody get in there, they kind of get the free 30-second penalty for being in there. But after that, we're going 1 minute, and it's a unsportsmanlike foul. But remember, in there, it is a releasable unsportsmanlike. If you get the scenario where I don't know why, but 2 defenders went in place at the same time to take it in, we shut it down. Both guys are going to the box. Pick one guy, he does 30 seconds. That next guy, he gets the 1 minute time frame. Goalkeeper, defenseman, remember they cannot carry the ball from outside of the crease back into the crease. You can pass it back and forth. If a player runs, stops short of the crease, just takes the stick turns and puts it into the crease for the goalie to gain possession, you can do that, but you cannot go from out of the crease back into the crease. And then the attackmen, remember, they are allowed to reach in and play the ball as long as they don't make contact with the goalie. You're going to hear some coaches, they may see, hey, if attackman reaches in, scoops in to score, that he was in the crease, he's allowed to be in the crease. He just cannot make contact with the goalie in the crease. So, the crease isn't necessarily always a no-go for the attackman. They can't stand in it, but they can scoop in with their stick if they want to try to score that way. That is a completely legal way for them to score. All right, the favor that everybody wants to see, the dive play. So our federation rules are pretty simple. If the attack player dives or jumps prior to, during, or after a shot and lands in the crease, it's not a goal. They are not allowed to do that. Remember, the attackman has to be grounded in order to score. As long as the ball goes in and then he goes into the crease, then it can be considered a good goal. So what is grounded? If he's standing there, he shoots, ball goes in the goal, and then he's momentum, he flops down, goes into the crease, that is a good goal. If he's on the run, shoots, scores, ball breaks the plane, he runs through the crease, that is a good goal. He cannot jump, dive, do anything like that. It's coming off regardless if we have contact or anything like that. Remember, college has the dive. Their rules are different. So just because we saw it on TV or anything like that doesn't mean that applies here. There's no goal mouth. There's nothing like that. So those terms do not apply for the federation. So if a coach or player says that, we don't have that in the rule book. When we officiate that, what do we have to do? For the players, we have to watch them. You have to watch their feet, watch their contact. How did he get there? Was there contact? Was it legal? Was it illegal? All the things we have to take in to make a judgment call on that. Some techniques that work. Typically, when that player is starting to go away from you, you're going to watch the back, because that's typically where that push or anything is going to come. If he gets shoved into the crease, you're going to be having that call. The official who sees him coming towards them, you can't see through the guy, so you're not going to see that back. So you need to shift down, look at the feet, look at the knees. Did he compress to explode up? That's going to be your keys to see if the player's trying to go for the dive. All right, so that was just kind of a brief overview of some of the stuff. Please get into the rules and look at the scenarios for that of what's listed, so we know how to adjudicate the fouls. Some of these rules I went through the book. There might be a couple other sections that I missed, but I try to get most of the ones that apply to the goalie, goals, the crease. So that should be a pretty good list of there. Some of those obviously are all crease specific or goalie specific. There's a couple in there that might just have a brief comment about them on one scenario or something like that. But take a moment, please review those. These are the stuff that matters. This is where everyone's going to be looking at stuff, because it has to deal with the goal and goals or goalies. We need to know how to adjudicate these calls. So take a moment, please look at everything, and good luck this season. All right, Greg.